Hello guys, welcome to Rise of Patience. We're gonna start very soon. We have a best of 5 game coming up, so stay here. Just right before I start, I want to make sure that I am audible, and Kron is going to join me very soon. He's on his way. So yeah, I'm very excited for this game. It's been the most anticipated game of this tournament so far. Uh, right after the grand finale, it's going to be the most exciting one. Let's see. And in the chat, we have got Dave, Edwin, and Rocket Beep. Thanks guys for watching. Please share this link. We won't start unless we get at least 10 viewers. I'll be back just after checking if my voice is fine. If anybody in the chat can confirm about the voice quality, that'll be great. Hello guys, I just got confirmed by Dave that the voice is coming through, so I guess we are good to start. And meanwhile, again, share the link of the stream to as many people as possible. We won't be starting unless we get at least 10 viewers. So let's make it big. We had about 22 viewers last time. Actually, I did buy a new mic. This is the new mic that I have bought. But if you cannot hear me well, please let me know, because all my other streams are working fine. So I assume this should work fine as well. All right, all right. Let me see what I can do to fix this. Anyway, coming to the game, we've got TGZ and PLA. We have seen some amazing games by PLA and TGZ, both of them. I would say there was a time when I wouldn't have believed that PLA would make it to this losers bracket where we are right now, because they had a hard time with AZ2 already, and I thought maybe they're not cut out to be the finalists. But look at it. Here we are. PLA has shown us some of the best games. The PLA versus Forwali game is the most intense game we have seen so far in this tournament. And if you have not watched it, please go back, or not right now, maybe go back later and look at the PLA versus Forwali game. It was one of the closest game and really nail-biting moments in that game. So in PLA, we've got PLA Mouse, Martinet, Timeless, Angelo, TNO, Linky, Monkey, Penguin, and TNT. Out of all these players, so far we have not seen Monkey, Penguin, Linky, and Martinet play. The main players of the PLA roster have been Mouse, Timeless, Angelo, TNO, and TNT. I think TNT only showed up for a single game, but he did leave his mark. It was a very exciting one. So let's see if PLA is going to keep the same roster, same teams, or they're going to mix it up. Well, the other side we have got TGZ. TGZ has got a smaller roster than PLA, but I won't. It's not TGZ's fault. It's actually PLA which has the biggest roster. It's like 8 or 9 people. Is that? Yep, that's 9 players. No, none of the other teams have such a huge roster. So TGZ have got Immaculate, Leonidas, Math Wizard, Momo, Raiden, Flames. Out of all these, I've only seen the top four play except Leonidas. So yeah, their roster so far has been immaculate. Math Wizard, Momo, and a new addition which was made after the tournament started. Of course, on after confirming with all the other team leaders that whether they were okay with it or not. So Immaculate, Leonidas, Math Wizard, Momo, and TGZ Sumitraya, who has been a great player in the team. And if you want to see how well TGZ played, you must watch how they got into the semifinals. Their quarterfinal game was with AZ1, and uh, and yeah, that was another very close game. You should definitely go and watch it if you are excited about this tournament. It was a best of three only, but it was still really fun. And after they did lose against EL in the semifinals, and here they are battling out for the third position. PLA versus TGZ. The prize pool for this is going to be 20% of $600. I'm not going to do the math here, but yeah, whoever wins this game is going to take that amount. So let's see. Meanwhile, I also want to keep everything updated about the grand final, EL versus Forwali, which is scheduled to get casted tomorrow. If I know Dave is here, Dave is the leader for EL clan, and if they get to play tonight with Forwali, then we may see a cast tomorrow. If not, then we'll see all the 7 games casted on Sunday. Remember, it's a best of 7. It's going to be intense. It's going to be amazing. Please do not do not forget to watch it. I will be keeping everybody updated on my Discord and Facebook channel, and also I'll have a dummy game created on Rise of Nations lobby, so nobody will miss this. All right, and I'm still waiting for Kron because he is on his way. He should be here anytime. So the moment he comes in here, we are going to start. So it shouldn't be more than 2 or 3 minutes. And if it takes more than that, then I guess I'll be starting on my own. And he'll just join us on the way. So guys, just be patient. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm back, guys. We are starting in, yeah, we are starting actually right now. Kron is going to take a few minutes to get here, so I'll just take the lead. And let me tell you, if anybody's not, of course you guys won't know, Kron is going to be a father very soon. So if you see him in the lobby, congratulate him. It's a big news, and you know what that means. That also means that he won't be available for uh, he may not be available for casting a lot in future just because of the responsibilities. So if you don't see him around, remember, he's not lost interest in Ron. He's just getting a new Ron player ready. Yeah, we'll get him to play and become a pro as well. Yeah. All right, guys. uh, Here we are. So coming to the PLA versus TGZ games. By the way, if I am not sure if you guys know or not, I have shared the Dropbox link of all the replays in Nomadium group. And so if anybody wants to actually see the Rise of Nations um, Dropbox, like actual games, the RCX files, you are free to download them from the Discord link, and yeah, the Dropbox is there. All the games are arranged in an order, so it's easy to find. Yeah, if you want to watch them with your own perspective, you're free to do that. So let's go ahead and start this. Actually, you know what? I will I'll just wait 2 more minutes for Kron to come here, just so that we don't have to worry about syncing. So we are ready. Just give me 2 more minutes. Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Yeah, Kron is almost here. Sorry for the wait, guys, but I am telling you to be worth the wait. Okay, we are going to begin right now. Thanks for waiting, everybody. We've got 14 viewers, and I think this is a good threshold to start the game. All right, here is a 3 versus 3 between PLA and TGZ, and just hold on a second. Somebody donated $45 to the stream. Thanks a lot, man. He said, "Great tournament. We want more." Well, yeah, your wishes are command. We're going to have more tournaments after this. Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, we have a donation goal for today. If you guys can help us reach it, that'll be amazing. If not, well, there's no problem about that either. So this is African watering hole and a 3 versus 3. I'll be honest, I'm watching a 3 versus 3 after such a long time because all Forwali versus PLA games were 4 versus 4, and the dynamics of a 4 versus 4 and 3 versus 3 are completely different because 4 versus 4 is a little more organized. You are less likely to get tripled or something, but in a 3 versus 3 you can do so much because the guy in the flank, in the middle or the pocket, he has the most responsibility. He needs to balance his aid to both the sides. He need to make sure nobody is getting doubled or even tripled. Yeah, so I would say I would love to see a 4 versus 4, but 3 versus 3s are actually more exciting to watch as well because all the uncertain aspects we can see. Edwin, yeah, I know. I guess Rise of Nations is a very small community, but since nobody else is streaming this game, I am getting most of it. So yeah, it's like a monopoly for me. It helps sometimes. Anyway, let's look at the nations. Linky here has got Maya, Japan, and Bantu. Looking at the perspective for a water map, Japan is going to be a really good option here because they get 10% cheaper boats, and I'm going to confirm that right now. Yeah, ships are 10% cheaper for Japan, so the only water nation for this team right here is going to be for TNO. And let me tell you guys, I think this is the first game for Linky. We have been trying to get him to watch. Yeah, he has been able to get his reputation up in this tournament a lot because again, if you go back to the Forwali versus PLA game, you will realize that TNO was a major asset for PLA along with Mouse. So these two they have shown great team play, especially in this tournament so far, and I would love to see what these guys are going to do in this game against TGZ. And Linky has not played, up to my knowledge, if I am not wrong, he has not played in this tournament. So this will be his first appearance, and we all know Linky. He's an amazing Nomader and standard player. So yeah, I'm quite excited to see what they can come up with. I personally don't like Maya that much because cheaper wood buildings and faster production are great, but I'm not I won't say if that's the best nation for this. Well, Bantu are quite versatile. They can be used in any way possible, especially if this team manages to take the lake. With the lake, Bantu will have the access to extra wealth, and they can convert that to of course knowledge. And Bantu have literally no population limit. I don't even know anybody ever reaches Bantu population limit in a advanced game. So it's never a problem for these guys. With all the wealth, all they need is get more knowledge and boom the fuck out of the game. On the other side, for TGZ, they've got Dutch, a very important water nation. Then they've got Koreans and French. So both sides have got a water nation, although Dutch are more like a water nation than Japan, but still. And French here, well, in order to take full advantage of the French, they need to go despot. So it's a very tricky situation. I don't think this is the map that's cut out to be for despot, because if he goes despot, he needs to go all in and kill. And he's against Maya, so especially looks like Maya is going to be a good counter against French because they're harder to kill. And then Leonidas here is Koreans, so that's going to be a slower nation comparatively. It's a defensive nation. It's very difficult to kill. I think the nations are completely balanced. There is not going to be any particular any particular advantage to one of those. And look at that, the TGZ team is making their docks, and PLA is a little ahead. TNO and Linky have already got their docks up and they've started making fishes. Now the Dutch player is going to get a free bark, the light ship, thanks to which now he can start attacking already, and these guys will have to wait for the military to be done. So yeah, that's one of the great advantages of Dutch. You get a free ship. Even Spanish free ship is even better because they get a heavy ship which is worth 90 wood. That's a lot of wood you're saving. You're actually building a 70 wood dock and getting a 90 wood ship. So that's the best return you can get out of your wood. Coming back to the rare resources, here these guys on TGZ side have got furs, relics, marbles, and bison and Pappy are going to be in the no man's land, so we don't know who's going to take this. More likely, well, it looks like Immaculate is aiming for the relics instead of Pappy, so it'll all be up to Leonidas to get Papyrus. And Leonidas is going for military one, so it's either going to be a land raid or a water raid. Let's see which one it is. Leonidas has got 2 docks here. I do not know why he would do that. If anybody in the chat who is really experienced, because I'm not very experienced with water maps, I don't know why he would go for 2 docks, especially with Koreans. Yeah, please enlighten us. Meanwhile, look at that. That's the power of Japanese. They're already strong on water. Linky is also getting a few heavy ships. 3 heavy ships from TNO already. This is a very embroiling battle right here. And looking at PLA's advance, they might be able to take the water for now at least. And while this fight is going on, I'll just like to go back and talk about the cities. By the way, I just want to make sure the game voice, the sound of the game is not drowning out my voice, right? Just making sure, because I hear the game noise very loud, so I don't want you guys to be able to not figure out clearly. Okay, so it's okay, we'll start. On this side for PLA, they've got bison, and well, thanks to the Bantu player, they were able to capture bison. And if Mouse goes for another Civ, I don't know if he will or not, he will be able to get Papyrus as well. Now what I love about this combo is that Mouse is not on water. If you guys see it, now he's just making his move on the water. He let Linky and TNO control the water, which is a good move. I think if everybody goes on water, it kind of leaves you vulnerable on land raids. So far no attack on land. And if you're looking at this, TNO and Linky have isolated Sumitraya there. This can never be good. Yeah, if you're isolated, you have to have almost a perfect coordination to be on the same footing as the other team, while these guys can just hop onto each other's city and help each other. So a very good chance Sumitraya may get doubled, or Immaculate can get doubled. They have to have a high level of teamwork right here to avoid those. And look at that, Mouse is getting a tower to secure Pappy. Yeah, he doesn't see Immaculate's merchant yet, and let's see if these guys know about that. Oh, they just see the tower, so Immaculate is moving out of the way. It's an intense battle on the water. Yeah, it is favoring PLA for now. And exciting to see, there's only one water rare on this map, which is cotton. Cotton helps you make ships faster, but no, there is no citrus or no copper, so that means we are not going to be seeing stronger ships or self-healing ships. There, Sumitra lost a heavy ship. If you're a new player, um, on water maps, it matters a lot if you can save your ships right before they die, so that you don't lose the wood and they can come back after they're healed. Yeah, losing a ship, it's a big deal on Nomad games because how heavy, expensive they are. Okay, Patricia says he's RTS Naoto, and yes, I completely believe you. Yeah, right. I don't think Naoto ever. I've never heard like seen Naoto even speak English or write something in English. So, yeah, I don't really trust you. But yeah, keep going. It's interesting. And PLA team already seems to be an advantage. They've all aged up. Well, Immaculate here. Immaculate, well, Immaculate is cooking something. He has got a second science. He's also getting a second commerce now. So, well, that can definitely help him out in the late game compared to PLA, where Mouse has even skipped science. Linky has, TNO has skipped science, and everybody in PLA team has skipped science. So this either means they are desperate for fire ups, or this could also mean they're desperate for a quick attack. And
Jatin, this is absolutely insane. This is Kron here, guys. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late here, but I've just managed to join, and I've got the replay up and running as well. So, yeah, it looks like a really exciting match here. It looks like PLA is definitely going for the old skip science and go straight for a nice juicy rush. What do you think?
Man, that's exactly what it looks like. And I am paused here at 11 minutes 33 seconds. So
okay.
I'm waiting for you to sync, and we are getting congratulations wishes from Edwin and Serge.
Hey, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting period of life coming up for me. But yeah, obviously, I think we've got people from all different demographics in the Brazil Nations community. But yeah, it's going to be obviously life changing. Hopefully, I can still fit in plenty of Brazil Nations. But yeah, I've got I'm not sure exactly how many weeks left, maybe 3 to 5 weeks. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, appreciate the wishes. So.
All right, man, and this is like a very nice game here. I actually was waiting for you to come in. It becomes much more interesting when there is another commentator. And by the way, guys, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we might be seeing Forvali versus EL, and we may have a third commentator on that. So yeah, check out. It'll be a three commentary grand finale. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. It's always good to have a few different opinions, and as long as we can figure out how to not talk over each other, that'll be the key. And also to stay in sync as we do the cast. But yeah, it'll be really fun. And obviously, everything has been building up to this moment where we have the Forvali versus the EL grand final. So absolutely can't wait. But I am conscious that for you, Jatin, I know you've probably got about 3 hours to cast this morning. Is that right?
Now I have 2.5 hours left, so we need to get this done very quickly.
Absolutely. So yeah, happy to keep going. So if you want to keep playing, I've got the stream up on my second monitor. So I know you're at 11 minutes 13, and I'm currently at 11:35. So I'll wait for you to play, and I'll pick up once you get there.
All right, and we've got an analyst, Patrica. He says that Serge has Windows problems and Dave and Boo is impossible to reach. Let's see if Patrica is actually right or not in the tournament. We'll find out very soon.
I mean, Boo and Dave, some people were saying that's like a cheat code when you put those two players on the same team. But I mean, not to Surge and not to Zen Mechanics or Coin or Kane or even Prolays. I mean, we don't exactly know what lineup they're going to put out yet. So I can't wait to see that.
All right.
Obviously a good team.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm at 11:34. So do you want to count us down? And
let's do that.
All right.
3, 2, 1, let's go. And just answering Patrica's comment, well, yeah, PLA almost beat Forvali, and PLA, well, and Well, they did beat Forvali almost, but PLA is a very strong team, and EL beat TGZ. So let's see if PLA can beat TGZ, because if PLA can beat TGZ, that will tell us where everybody stands, the four teams. If PLA cannot beat TGZ, then you might have an argument that L is way better than Forvali. Let's find out. Anyway, coming back to this game, I want to point out that Sumit Raya here is completely like he's on a full defensive mode. He has got the he's in the worst condition right now. I think he was raided, or maybe he did not do so well on water.
Yeah, it does look like he's a little bit behind, and obviously quite isolated, being at the top of the map there. And you've got the Japanese player. That is Japanese, correct? Yeah, Red is Japanese here, just next door. That's going to be a tough spot, because with Paris, you want to get the death spot, you want to put the pressure on. But if he's going to have to defend, it's going to be a tough position for him to kind of link up with his teammates and actually put some pressure on here.
Oh yeah, and yeah, pointing out here, we've got a wonder race between Mouse and Leonidas, so I know that these guys are not going to be attacking anytime. TNO here, TNO has got a nice economy here set up with Senator, while on this side, Immaculate is already second commerce, as I've mentioned, so I would expect Immaculate to be reaching medieval age really soon. Yeah, he's got everything set up right here. It's just that these guys are not doing so well on water. The PLA team has forced them into a corner.
Yeah, this is really looking like classic watering hole. Obviously, it's that balance between the water and the land, and at the moment, PLA look like they have got the edge on the water, and that's really helping with that wealth income and that knowledge income. I mean, Immaculate's economy right now, he hasn't got any scholars built. He's only got the one university, so he's only got 10 knowledge income coming in. So economy-wise, he's doing great for food, wood, and metal. But I mean, yeah, just that knowledge income's going to come and hurt him if he doesn't try and catch that up.
Yeah, and look at TNO. TNO has got 4 heavy ships garrisons inside. He could easily overturn this game around, because I mean, the PLA is already winning on water, and with those 4 heavy ships from TNO, it could just be over on water. Anyway, and look at that. TNO is so I guess he's just not focused on water at all. He wants to finish it on land. If you look at his base that's near Sumitraya, he's going for an archer rush. He's got catapults building. Man, this cannot be good for Sumitraya. He's not even around 150 eco, and he's getting rushed by Japanese.
Man, the one thing you don't want to be doing is be behind economically and then be on the back foot against a Japanese opponent. And TNO, like we've seen, he's been an absolutely sick player this entire tournament. Definitely the MVP in some of those games versus Forvali. So, yeah, I'm not sure how Sumitraya is going to be able to respond here. I mean, you can see that he's building another stable behind his city. What technology is he going with? He's gone for the Senator, which I don't mind going Senator here, because, if you're going to defend, you might as well get the benefits from an economic point of view. But yeah, TNO is going to be a tough foe to kind of defend.
Yep, it's going to be very difficult. Immaculate just gave him some metal. He's asked for attrition, but I don't know, because yeah, here's Immaculate. Here, Sumitra has completely. He has almost no wealth income. PLA has done a great job on water. They control all the sea, so that means the wealth income is pouring for TNO. It's just so much wealth for TNO here. He can afford to make only heavy horses and archers. And Linky has joined the game as well, even though it's just 2 archers. I think it's enough to make a difference. Meanwhile, Immaculate, well, Immaculate is doing really good with his boom, but I'm not sure if that's the kind of game these guys want right now. And
exactly.
all the militia are here.
Oh man, this is not good. I must admit, the TGZ guys are probably seeing those militia going down like flies, and yeah, I guess it's a tough spot, but I feel like maybe those militia would be better off hanging behind the city, trying to protect them, and just delaying and delaying and delaying so that Immaculate can kind of reinforce.
Oh yeah, definitely, because Sumitra has still got a lot of villagers behind that could help right now, because I mean, once the city is taken down, you don't, that extra that those woodcutters are not going to make any difference. Sumitra is going to lose. He just lost his senator, so no more healing, no more defense bonus for the buildings. Man, that sucks.
Yeah, that's a really tough spot. He is bringing those extra militia down now, but I mean, this is some great kind of movement of the armies here by Linky and TNO. Immaculate booming like he has, it does kind of leave him vulnerable in the sense that he can't really churn out an army all that quickly, especially coming from such a low base of his army at that time. So,
oh yeah, definitely.
Looks like TNO has retreated for the time being, though.
Yeah, he has retreated here, and well, so when your opponent is going militia and you're not going militia, it should give you a hint that, well, he is not doing so well. He is very desperate to save himself, and right after losing all the militia, it's very the opponent is going to be very vulnerable to any kind of attack because their eco is dead, and then they're using all their food to making more villagers. So you won't expect any heavy infantry to be made. So it makes him quite predictable to the opponent. You know what he's going to make, so you can have your strategy ready.
And, absolutely. I mean, yeah. Every time your opponent uses militia, that's valuable time that they could be mining. I mean, I remember watching a game that you played Jitin against Surge just recently, where Surge was playing as Koreans, and Surge needed to use a lot of militia. And whilst he was able to defend really well, his economy was suffering so badly that it was just really tough to get back in the game.
Yeah, and just pointing out here, Mouse has boomed really well. Look at his eco. He's got a 147 knowledge. That's more than triple of. Maybe that's more than every TGZ player combined right now.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. And you look at TNO. He's ejected those 4 ships now, and they're well and truly cleaning up the water. I would like to see him upgrade to those extra the galleys instead of the triremes, because obviously he's already got 4 out there. But it looks like those guys are definitely crushing as far as the water goes. And Sumatraya, he might not have been killed earlier, but he was severely weakened. And for Sumatraya right now, he's just trying to do what he can to try and consolidate and re-establish himself for the late game if it gets that far.
That's right. And the problem is that without the lake, it's just an uphill battle. You cannot win against Japanese or Maya when you are so deprived of wealth. And Sumitra he's nowhere close to medieval age. If you look at his library research, he's going to depend a lot on Immaculate right now to survive. And I'm not sure if Immaculate can do it, because even Immaculate, well, he's got a good income there, and he will be aging very soon. But it's 2 medieval age armies against 1, and one of them is Japanese. If you look at TNO's army size, it's alone more than what Immaculate has. So I do not see how this is going to work out. Now, and even Leonidas doesn't look like he's doing something very good here. He's losing his sieges. He doesn't have anyway as good an eco as Mouse.
Yeah, I mean it's really that cumulative effect of having the pond in the middle coming to full effect here. I feel like on this map, really you've got 2 options. That's go hard for the sea, but don't die early to a rush, or go for a hard rush and try and kill them before because they put too much into ships. But once you get to the point where firstly they get the lake in the middle, and then secondly they actually build up bigger armies and have a bigger eco, then yeah, it's, as you said, it's really, really, really tough to try and come back from that.
Oh yeah, it is. And Leo just said that they got too many good nations for this. Well, I do believe Japan is really good for this kind of map, because they're super fast, and yeah, I don't mind what Leo is saying. But maybe if Sumitra had gone despotism, I mean, even right now he's not using any of his eco. With despot, at least he would be getting some bonus for each kill he makes.
Yeah, I agree. I think they would have had to try something, but the nations, I'd say just having Japanese is a slight advantage to PLA, but I don't think it was necessarily, I wouldn't say imbalanced by any means in the scheme of things when you look at the 3 teams. Obviously having Japs is a bonus, but yeah, I mean, I think PLA have just done better with their tactics and the ability to get the ships and basically close this game out.
Oh yeah, and that makes it a 1-0 for the tournament. PLA, that was a short game, relatively short game for what we have seen in the past 21 minutes. Uh, Still not the shortest games, and you guys know who has the record for shortest game ever finished. That's our own TGZ Kron.
Well, I'll take whatever plaudits I can get because there's not a lot else coming my way. But yes, I'll try and hold on to that record for the time being. So
Yeah,
21 minutes
yeah,
tonight, though. That's
yeah. 21 minutes is not bad, but 14 or sub 15 minutes is really good that you guys pulled off against. Was it Lat 2?
yeah, that was a lot too. That was a militia triple essentially on Himalayas, I believe it was. So that was
Yeah.
that was good times. It's like it seems like such a long time ago that this tournament started, and it was probably about what, a month and a half.
Oh yeah,
But
it was about a month ago.
yeah, it's just amazing thinking that we came from the round of 16 all the way to this point, and this is the obviously the third and fourth place match, and we're nearly at the very pinnacle, the very finale that we're all waiting for. But obviously, I can't wait to see how this particular match between PLA and TGZ turns out. So I guess I'm just conscious of time. I know you've only got a limited amount of time this morning for yourself to cast. So anything you wanted to add for this first match before we kind of move
the
on to
last
game
thing
two?
I would like to add is I feel that maybe if Immaculate did not go for second commerce, it wouldn't have left Sumitra so vulnerable, because Sumitra did get doubled initially, even though TNO was primarily there by himself, but Green also helped them, and I think Immaculate should have taken it a little more aggressively, just because how isolated Sumitra was. I think that's the only thing that they could have done differently. Because on the other side, White and Light Blue, Leo and Mouse were almost a 1 versus 1. There was no interference from anybody else on their land map.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it does look like on the resource graph that there was some heavy raiding going on Sumatra, and maybe that was the point where the game kind of slipped away a little bit for TGZ here. But yeah, I mean, obviously, there's always risks involved when you do go for a really hard boom. You can look like a really like a hero, I guess, later on in the match if you can get to that point. But yeah, when PLA, one thing they did in this match, which I think is quite interesting, and it could potentially change, the metagame for these kind of 3v3 or 4v4 matches, is that they all skip science. And we all naturally, like most RON players, we always go science 1 before we age 2, because we just figure that's kind of what you do. You build your 3 or 4 merchants, you get your science 1, and then you get your age 2. Costs 450 food instead of 500, and obviously you get ruins are a lot cheaper. But if you can save that 180 wood and 75 wealth and use that towards faster siege, faster racks, faster stable, I feel like that's actually a pretty nice trade-off there. And maybe that's something that we'll see more of, where all 3 players on the same team basically skip science for a much faster pressure.
Oh yeah, definitely. And by skipping the science, it also gives you enough about more resources to get a Colossus or a Wonder. Then, because you don't spend your 75 wealth, you can use it somewhere. And especially on this map, because you end up using so much wood on the ships. Well, that 180. You may not have 180 wood for the science, or you would rather use that 180 wood for making heavy ships than to go for science. So that's also a reason why we saw what we saw here with PLA. But I really like that strategy.
Yeah, I agree, and I just wonder if anyone from EL or for Bali might be kind of taking notes right now and thinking, okay, might have to try that out in the grand final. But no, I'm sure they're far too good to even have to worry about that.
And in the chat we've got Lotus VVS. He says, when is the final? Well, the grand finale is it's definitely on Sunday, but it could also be tomorrow if the EL and Forwali team can play some games tonight. So it all depends on them. But Sunday it's going to be there for sure. All right, Kron, I am ready to begin the second game.
All right, I'm loading it up as well. So I'm ready to go at 0 seconds. Just let me know, count me down, and we'll get started.
All right, so I'm here at 0 seconds as well. So 3, 2, 1, let's go.
All right, let's do this. So we have, looks like the same lineup here: Mouse, Linky, and TNO for game 2. PLA versus TGZ, with TGZ having Leonidas, Immaculate, and Sumatraya. So no changes to the lineups here. What do you think of these lineups, by the way? I didn't have a chance to ask you earlier.
Oh yeah, so I have not had a lot of experience playing with Leonidas or watching him play. This is the first time he's appearing in this tournament. So I have no idea if he is better than Momo, if he is on the same ground as Momo, or if he is not as good. So I wouldn't be able to assess that. But I know Momo is a great player, and probably Momo didn't play either because he was not available, or it could be that they wanted to let Leonidas play a game as well. So what do you think? Have you had any chance to play with Leo?
Yeah, so I've played quite a bit with Leo over the years, and he hasn't been as active in the last few months. But yeah, he's definitely played a lot. And yeah, my thoughts of Leo is he's a really strong player, very solid. Maybe if he had any weakness, maybe I'd say a little bit predictable in the way he plays. He likes to take kind of economic gambles more so than anything else. So he might skip science, for example, go for a quick age 2, skip military, go quick age 2, and get a wonder. But he's very solid kind of boomer, a very patient player, and I'd say he's got a similar play style to Zeus, if you've played with Zeus before.
All right. So okay, then I think then he shouldn't be a problem here. I mean, for TGZ, he's going to be a great asset. Let's see what they can do this game. So this is now compared to the last game, there is no water here, so you can't have any blame on the water. And it's not a bad blame. I mean, of course, if you lose water, there is a very less chance that you are going to win the game. So I don't actually blame TGZ a lot, except for some minor mistakes that we pointed out. But looking at this map and the nations, the TGZ has got Persians, French, and Aztecs. So there are two very aggressive nations right there. And with Persians are also really good. I like Persians in the late game when they have their eco up and they can start spamming elephants. What do you think of this lineup?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I did see a game the other night where Persians just absolutely destroyed against Inca. So, yeah, I think as far as the nations go here, at face value, the first thing I notice here is that PLA with Linky have Lakota. And, it goes without saying, Lakota are an amazing nation in this game because of their ability to build wherever they want to build. So getting map control is easier. And obviously their economy is really strong once you spam enough villages and get enough ruins in the early game. So I think having Lakota kind of just on face value probably gives PLA a slight edge from a nation standpoint, and also having they've also got a really strong nation in Nubians from an economic side of things. But then Greeks on this particular map, I don't know. Some people love playing as Greeks. Myself, not as much, and I feel like Greeks are a little bit slow. So that somewhat evens it out here. For as far as the nations go.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would love to have Greeks when I'm far away from my opponent, and that's exactly what they are. The players are very much separated from their enemies, so there's a lot of scope for booming, and that's actually bad for Aztecs and French because they haven't got any particular booming advantages. So it's going to be, being so far away from your opponent, that just means that you have more time to boom, and this is especially great for Nubian Lakota players. And Lakota are anyway very fast, one of the fastest nations to start in Nomad. So let's see what they can do. Actually, Lakota can close this gap, and if he closes, Linky closes this gap towards Sumitraya, I think that's going to be a better choice, just because Sumitra is Persian player. Persians are not that fast compared to going right next to French or Aztecs, which is almost asking to be killed.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just reading the chat. I know Dave mentioned about the Greeks being fast, and I completely agree. In one sense, Greeks are really fast at aging. Their technology is cheaper, obviously. Maybe it's just when in the hands of the wrong player, probably myself. Always building too many scholars and not having any income to build merchants is probably where I go wrong when I play as Greeks.
I feel if you're Greece, your job is to get to medieval age as soon as possible, and that is where they really shine. And as I said, if you want to go to medieval age very soon, you need to have that small relaxation time when you're not in battle, you're just focusing on some of your eco and getting to medieval fast. That's when you need allies help and probably some distance from your opponents, and this is perfect for a TNO. He's got the distance and he's got his allies so close to him that he can completely rely for help.
Yeah, Tierno's in a great position, especially as Greeks, as you said. He's going to have no issue getting to age 3 nice and quick, given he's got a bit of distance between himself and his nearest opponent. And I mean, if we just have a quick scan on the map here, as far as the rares go, who do you think ended up with the better end of the stick, as far as the location of the rares here?
So let's look at the rares on PLA side. They've got cotton. I always like cotton just because that extra wood in Nomad can be the make the difference between getting a second woodcutter camp or not. Then relics is going to be especially great for TNO here. I mean, that's enough knowledge that he will make with 4 scholars, and 4 scholars cost about a little more than 120 wealth. So that's a very good exchange for your single merchant cost and getting the value of 120 wealth out of that. Then these guys have also got furs here and wine, so I won't be complaining a lot. They've got a decent rares here on this side, but still we have to look at what TGZ have got. And looking at TGZ side, these guys have got silk, and knowing Immaculate, I know he cannot resist the temptation to go for commerce too when he knows they have silk. Then these guys have also got bison on this side and salt. Now salt and horses, this is going to be game changing. Salt horses with Aztecs and French that can make a lot of difference in this game, especially since these guys are closing the gap. If you see, Leonidas is building right next to Immaculate, so now they are not that far away anymore.
Yeah, I really like this play here. I mean, they've identified that they have got some good rares for rushing, some good nations for kind of rushing, or at least putting on a lot of aggression in the early game. And I like the fact that they've staggered their cities here to kind of make the most of that push forward, because if you want to be aggressive, you need to be close to your enemy, because you need to have short reinforcement lines. And by staggering their cities here, they're nice and close to the city of Mouse. And Mouse is playing as Nubians. Nubians are a great nation, don't get me wrong, but I feel like at least they're not a nation that's necessarily defensive in their style. And they might have a good chance here if they can pull off some kind of despot combination with Aztecs, French Aztecs, kind of attacking against Nubians here. Who knows what will happen?
Alright, yeah, and look at Linky. He has decided to secure silver for himself, so that's a great move. By the way, when we were talking about rares, I also want to mention that TGZ have got sugar here and gems in the back, so, and even papyrus. So I wouldn't say TGZ has got bad. In fact, I would say BTG has got the perfect rare resources for a quick attack. So it might not be so much in the balance in the balance, right? PLA has got some rares that are more aimed towards longer game, but maybe even for longer game, TGZ has got better rares because they've got silk and papyrus. So exactly. I wouldn't be complaining at all if I was TGZ.
Oh, seriously, I mean, I used to work, my first job I ever had was working in a Chinese restaurant, and I used to cook the fried rice. And the secret ingredient to any good fried rice is sugar and salt. If you don't believe me, just try it out, because you add some sugar and salt, everything just tastes great. And I'm sure for these guys, they've got sugar and salt here on the TGZ side, and that's the perfect ingredients for a nice, fast, quick rush where you've got the cheap units basically compounded twice. So
that's a nice analogy. Although if there's any Indian viewer on our cast, he would completely disagree. In India, I don't know anything that we get sugar and salt together. It just doesn't work well with Indian food, but I can completely agree about Chinese food. I've been having a lot of Chinese food in United States, and I don't know if it's sweet or salty, and probably I know why it is like that now.
Yeah, and I mean, when I say Chinese food, I'm talking about Australian Chinese food, so it might be a completely different to authentic, what you would actually have in China. And I'm sure the PLA guys will be more than happy to correct me if I'm wrong, if any of them are watching this cast at some point.
Oh yeah, and as Dave said, Chinese food is the perfect friend for a university student. That is that is right. Yeah, have instant noodles is what you need in university. That's what you survive on. Anyway, coming back to our game here, Mouse is already age up. Mouse has done the same thing again, skipped science, and these guys are doing really good in protecting their rears. Look at that. Mouse forward. Mouse towered his furs. He has towered wine. These guys are also towering the relics, and I think this is a great strategy because it just rules out the possibility or that uncertainty that your rears might get raided and you will have to replenish those rears late in the game. So this is not a bad investment at all. I really like this kind of play from these guys here.
Yeah, really good protection. I mean, you can see that those 5 rares, just having them last the entire game can make such a big difference, because if you lose one merchant right now and you don't replace it for the next 10 or 20 minutes of the game, that adds up to be so much lost resources that you otherwise would have had. And you can see that Linky's doing a good job here as Lakota as well, towering the salt for the TGZ guys. That's got to be frustrating for TGZ.
That is going to be frustrating. So I will take it back now. Maybe without salt, the rears are not that good, and yeah, I mean, salt makes a lot of difference, and even their sugar just got raided, so it'll take some time before Immaculate is going to go back for that sugar. And I know that he has not made any merchant yet to replenish the sugar merchant. And looking at his library research, well, it looks like he's going for a faster attack. So if I was him, I would take this papyrus merchant out and send it for sugar, because that's what he actually needs right now. Sugar is much better than Pappy for a faster rush. Meanwhile here, look at that. That's the power of Nubians. If you click on Mouse's building, he's got 80 knowledge income coming. And well, I am predicting it. That's probably more than all TGZ players combined, and I am right. It's double of every TGZ player combined right now.
That is insane. I mean, obviously the relics, the wine, the dye. Geez, that's why Nubians are so strong when you can get some nice knowledge rares, because knowledge is one of those things that, it's something that changes games later on, but it's so hard to get early on these maps because wealth is at a premium, and you can either build scholars or you can build heavy cavalry, or something that's much more important in this early game, or build a Colossus, for example. So to be able to just get that wealth income coming in, that's really, really strong.
Alright, and what do you think about this this kind of play from PLA? PLA is, I think they're taking it easy. TNO is getting a wonder, and I don't see any buildings from Linky on Mouse's side, so Mouse is pretty much by himself to defend. And remember, he's against Aztecs and French. Both of these can easily overpower their enemies, and a winning battle is like a godsend for Aztecs. All they need is win battles and get all that plunder and keep going forward.
Oh, exactly. I mean, once they get that momentum, it's like rolling down a hill, like the snowball effect here. So if they can get a good double here, they're going to be in a great position, TGZ, because I mean, Linky is kind of out of position. I'm not sure if Linky was aware that they were both going to double here, but when you've got French in there as well, and a Despot French at that, with a supply wagon, there's going to be plenty of healing going on. So they're probably the two nations you don't want to be up against here.
Yeah, and both of them are despots, so it's pretty obvious they are going to attack. They are going to be attacking right now. Immaculate just lost an opportunity to get double the plunder from the tower. He was a little late to get his despot in front. But anyway, Mouse is doing well. Mouse is not doing bad here, I guess. Well, and Linky is here with his army, which leaves Leo in middle of two armies. Oh no, I think Linky is not going to be doing much in here.
Leo has some really nice horses here, and it looks like Linky's army was really skewed towards just archers, and those archers were really weak against those horses there. I'm really liking this play by TGZ so far.
Oh, and look at that, Mouse has just clicked up medieval age. If he reaches medieval age, that's going to be it. If he reaches
Getting
medieval age,
close.
these guys are not even close. Maybe, yeah, they need to. They. Oh man, just in time. Well,
City does get it down. Yeah,
yeah, the
that's
city does get
Linky.
down.
Linky caught out of position there, and this has got to be a bit scary for PLA right now. They've lost this forward city, and that's really going to halt any momentum that Mouse had from an economic side of things. And just losing that map control, it's kind of split up Linky's base and Linky's army with Mouse's, who doesn't. Mouse doesn't really have any. He's got a stable at the bottom, but he doesn't have any further racks at this point in time.
Oh yeah, and Immaculate just messaged Sumitraya to not let TNO help. So yeah, that's something you want to tell your opponent, because a triple here against Immaculate and Leonidas could be the end of the game, because these guys, they have put in an all-in game with Despot, so they cannot afford to. Yeah, they really cannot afford to lose this fight. They are good as long as they can hold this army together, and they do have a big army. And I do not think Mouse can fight it off by himself. He definitely needs Linky's help. He may even need TNO's help, because that large city is just going to delay his attack, but to lose is probably inevitable by himself. He cannot hold this.
Yeah, this is a tricky spot. I mean, this is where the game's won or lost here, is if they can, somehow hold this capital. Because I feel like if that cap goes down, it's really going to give, TGZ a massive upper hand, regardless of whether they hold it or not.
Oh yeah, no, please continue.
I was just going to say that, it looks like Sumitraya is doing some good work at the top there too, basically forcing that, if Linky's going to be out of position, Sumitraya is going to make him pay for it, and it looks like that city might also be under heavy pressure as well.
Yeah, Sumitraya is doing really great, making sure that they don't get tripled here. And look at that, 4 sieges. That's a big army. That is a very big army. Mouse is there with all of his villagers, and Linky is again in a bad position. He needs to come in fast. And
this is very good for TGZ right now.
All right, they lost the city.
Wow, there it goes. And you see Leonidas in the chat. He's saying raise, as in raise all those farms. Great play there by TGZ though. They do get the cap sack, and that is a massive step for them towards potentially winning this game.
Yeah, and Immaculate has got the cap sack, so now he can either use it to get wonders or just age up. I do feel TNO could have done his share. He could have helped this side. Yeah, maybe Linky could have done a little better in this game than what he did.
Yeah, I mean, they have got the cap sack, but I mean, they will need to make sure they use that cap sack wisely, because this game's definitely not over yet. I mean, PLA, they do have decent economies for blue and green here. Mouse is obviously quite crippled by what's going on, but Mouse is pretty much, he's on his knees right now as far as his economy goes. But, being Despot does kind of constrain your ability to then go on and just, smash out the rest of the game. They do need to kind of make sure that this next 2 minutes of the game, they use their units wisely, don't lose units unnecessarily, and basically try and retake Mouse's cap here and close it out.
That's right. Their best bet right now is to take Mouse's cap. The thing is, Mouse has not started deleting his Senate, so he's not going anywhere. His cap is going to stay here.
Yeah, that cap is not moving anywhere.
If you look at Immaculate's knowledge income, he's all in right now. He is not planning to age up anytime. He has a zero knowledge income.
Yeah, and I think that's brilliant play by him too. I mean, any gold he spends on scholars or anything else is gold that he's not building, those French heavy cavalry. So I think when you're in this position, yeah, go hard, take out the white player here, Mouse, and then force a 3v2, which surely they would win in the long term.
Oh yeah, and if I was TNO, I wouldn't mind losing this blue city right here. I would just go and help, because if Mouse loses, of course the game's over. There's no point in defending that one city for Linky.
Yeah, I agree, and I mean, TNO has showed in previous games that he can single-handedly change games. And at some point, he may need to, spam some defensive towers at the top and just rotate down and try and save that cap. get Mouse back on his feet. Because the thing is for Mouse, while Mouse is obviously in a really, really bad spot right now, if Mouse can somehow kind of get protected and his allies can bring him back from the brink, those Nubian merchants can really boost his economy and get him kind of back up and running faster than any other nation could.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Nubians are there. They're known for faster recoveries, and I think Sumitra may be killing here as well. TNO doesn't have a big army. TNO did go for that Colossus, but the returns have not started coming in yet. So he is still, TNO is still not prepared to leave the side. He needs. I don't think he'll be able to take care of this army from Sumitra.
Yeah, you can see that Forbidden City has gone down as well here. So Leonidas has built that maybe as a bit of an insurance policy to make sure that Mouse does get eliminated here. And also, it's a great economic wonder to build for the long term as well.
Let's see. Oh no, it's actually Sumitra who's building Forbidden City. So he's doing it for the team. That's amazing. That's great team play. Because
okay, yeah.
Because none of the other TGZ players are in medieval age. They can't do it.
Oh wow, that's really smart. I must admit, maybe I was colorblind for a second then, but yeah, obviously that's orange at the top right, not red. But yeah, that's actually quite clever. I mean, the fact is, yeah, obviously as we said, TGZ for Immaculate and Leonidas, they're well and truly all in. They're well and truly committed to this attack. Immaculate's pretty much spent that entire cap sack bonus on even more troops than he had before, and with horses. He's well and truly made use of the rare resource of horses there because, look at how many cavalry he's got.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, look at Linky. Linky is close to aging. He has got the knowledge. He just needs to click on that button after some food so he can get his city big. And I think, yeah...
Blue's capital.
Yeah, Linky might die here as well. TNO needs to come down and save these guys. I can't believe these 4 hoplites are going to be able to take the city.
Wow.
Oh, and they do take the city.
That was well played, but that's gotta hurt for any of the PLA fans watching this right now, because that was a very nice orchestrated attack there, and Linky caught out of position.
And
these guys are playing Despot perfectly.
Look at that. TNO just sent 3 catapults there to distract Sumitraya, so Sumitraya may think that he's coming with an ambush, but actually it's just 3 catapults, it's nothing else. So Sumitraya did spend some time just doing nothing.
Yeah, wow, that was quite interesting. But
alright, did the game end for you? Did these guys resign?
Yeah, I think the game has ended, but I did hear that earlier. Basically, what happened was, I think 96 dropped from the match, and given the the dominating position of TGZ, this game was won by TGZ. Basically, right. PLA forfeited the match, and it's TGZ's win. So TGZ take the second match here.
That's great. So we've got a 1-1 in this best of 5. I am excited for the third game. Let's get right into it. I do want to discuss a little bit, but it says I don't have much time, so we need to finish the cast very soon.
Yep. No, I agree. I know you've got a deadline to meet, so we'll jump straight into number 3, and surely if we need to, we can always discuss while the next game starts.
Yeah. Let's pause this. Let's pause right here. I'm at 1 second, and a quick analysis of the last game. I feel Mouse should have asked Linky for help right in the beginning, because he did have army. All he needed was that initial time when he aged. If he could buy 5 or 10 more seconds, I think he would be medieval age, and after medieval age his army would just overpower because of the advanced technology. Linky did go there, and I know Mouse did tell him to go there, but that was a bad call, especially against French and Aztecs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess Mouse was that Mouse that instructed Linky to go there? Because if that's the case, I guess there's no one to blame except himself, unfortunately. But I mean, Mouse is obviously a really good player, very confident player, and in that case, maybe he just kind of underestimated that double despot rush by the TGZ guys. So well played, TGZ.
Really well played. And Mouse, I think Mouse should have changed his decision once he realized that both of them are despot, and he should not be taking on two despotic armies by himself, even if he is Nubians.
Oh, I agreed. And and building that barracks so far forward as well. Just in general, I don't like the idea of that because it was susceptible to a tower or getting siege from a distance. In my opinion, much safer option to build your barracks at least 2 or 3 tiles behind your city just to avoid that happening.
Oh yeah, that's right, that's right. And last game, I also we did not see a lot of participation from TNO. TNO was PC booming, and that just didn't work out for his team. But anyway, we are here with the third game. So I'm at the 1 second mark. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready to go.
All right, three, two, one, go.
All right, let's get
And this is the
started.
same map again. I hope you're not watching the same game. No, it's not the same game. So this is old world again, and looking at the nations, we've got the PLA team as British, Mongols, and Persians versus Aztecs, Romans, and Nubians. So what do you think about this lineup?
Yeah, I think so. Just on face value, British, Mongols, Persians. You know, not a bad mix there.
Just
I feel like
stopping here,
Mongols are
I'm
really
sorry,
strong.
I'm just stopping something interesting. TNO said that Serge told them that TGZ has practiced doubles a lot. So Serge,
Wow.
if you're giving away information like that, you should do it secretly. I know you have a lot of those fake nicknames. Use one of those so you don't get caught like that.
Just anonymous. That
Yeah.
can be his name, or maybe he'll just be called Grack61 like he normally does. But no, that's interesting. I mean, these guys. I like the fact that they've obviously done their homework, and the TZ guys pulled off that double really well. Probably the signs of as if they had been practicing it. That's how strong it seemed. With it was the right decision too with Aztecs and French like that. So yeah, I think I'm just reading the chat right now. You can see that TNO said doubling Brits a lot harder than doubling Nubians. Persians got Ellies, and Mongs kick ass. So I'm not sure if they're talking about this game or the last one,
No, I
but
think they're talking about this game because they've got Mongols and Persians here.
oh, okay, that makes sense then. So if we get back to, I guess, these nations, so we've got British, Mongols, and Persians versus Aztecs, Romans, and Nubians. I feel like, on the balance of things, to be honest, that's pretty balanced in my opinion. I don't think I would give, a huge kind of sway to one side or the other here. I feel like, personally, if I had to pick a team, I feel like I just like Mongols and British as nations just with their style. But I don't feel like one team has an economic advantage over the other. Nubians and Romans are awesome nations. Aztecs, great, as we've discussed many a time, great aggressive nation as well. I'm excited to see how this plays out because I feel like this is like dead straight down the middle, absolutely 50-50 as far as the nations go.
Oh yeah, I mean I completely agree. They've got both the sides have got two aggressive and one economic nation, and British are actually hard to guess. They're both economic and aggressive, so this is going to be very balanced on the side of the nations. Now, the rare resources can make a difference. I just checked the Nubian rare resources. Leonidas has got wine here and diamonds. Diamonds is so good to have early in the game because imagine that 30 knowledge accumulating all throughout the first 10 minutes of the ancient age. That can give you easily about 400 or something by the time you are in classical age. That's enough to get wonders or spam your university. Yeah, I would have nothing else except diamonds if I am getting a Nubian rare.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what an amazing kind of spawn for Leonidas here. And just for those, just in case anyone's watching right now who hasn't played a lot of Rise of Nations before, the Nubian nation is the only nation in Rise of Nations that can basically trade before they even build before they get to uh, almost two. And so in that sense, and they also get a bonus from their res. So by getting diamonds there, they're getting 30 income, but also the ability to trade in age one can basically lead to a massive boom, can lead to getting to age two much, much faster than your opponents, and putting a lot of pressure on way before anyone else can.
Oh yeah, and look at that. Sumitra just said that why do you guys spawn together? Because again, this is the third time that he is isolated. And I would rather have like if I'm Romans, I would rather have Aztecs as my doubling partner than Nubians. But Nubians can work as well in this case, as you said. With the diamonds, they can trade, they can buy food, and that means they can do everything faster, faster city, faster military. That all adds up in the game. But well, they're against Persians, British, and Mongols, so it's not going to be that easy.
Yeah, it definitely won't be as easy as if you're up against a weaker nation like Russia. But I mean, I feel like for Nubian style can really change depending on like what rare resources they get. I mean, if they get a lot of knowledge rares like Mouse had last game, they'll be a nice booming kind of knowledge based nation. Whereas if they get a lot of gold rares, they can effectively do whatever they want to. They can go for a really quick rush, really quick raids, or they can kind of go down that more booming path and try and get a wonder and basically just build a massive economy from there.
Oh yeah, and then look here, TNO is going for a Civic one before Commerce. With the Persian cheaper Civic, that's not very unpredictable. But I think they're just trying to close in the gap. That's probably what they're doing. They want to be closer to the enemies.
What do you think of Persians going Civic before Commerce here?
I think one of the big factors here should be that maybe TNO has had a lot of food lying around, and just to make good of that food, he's decided to go for Civic first. Also, the moment that he gets commerce and a market, he'll start trading. So maybe that is the motivation behind it, but I cannot be sure. It would also be because these guys haven't got a lot of good rare resources. Actually, they have got very shitty rare resources. No food or wood rare, so that would explain why he would rather go get the city first, so that he can start putting around farms. They've got really bad rares here. Tobacco, well, relics is good, but they can't do anything with relics in the ancient age. They've also got obsidian. They do have furs on this side, but it's out of their territory. And peacocks, they have literally zero food rares, minus furs.
Yeah, I mean, their rares are looking a bit bleak at the moment. Obsidian's not going to help in this early stage of the match, and they do have. It looks like they've got dye and tobacco, so they have got gold covered off if they can kind of secure those rares in the middle of the map. But I mean, yeah, as you said, you want to try and get some nice juicy rares early on that are really going to help you kind of kickstart your whole match. And how about if we look at TGZ? How do their rares look at the moment?
Oh, their rares look really good. I mean, diamonds, wines, and they have. And only Leo knows that there is salt, because it's not been discovered, but the Nubian player can see all the rare resources in the friendly territory. They've also got cotton and silk, silver. Yeah, I can say like undoubtedly they have got the better rare resources this side. I just hope Leo doesn't forget to tell his teammates that there is salt here, because that would be really pissing off.
Yeah, it might be a case of sometimes you don't want to tell your teammates because you're worried that when they send their merchant there, an enemy raider might follow them and then they'll raid the rare. But obviously, in a team game like this, I would hope that he would tell them, because having salt and not having salt. Oh, there we go. We can see he just pinged the map to let his teammates know, so they are aware now. And no, he's not just being selfish and wanting to win the game on his own.
Oh no, I don't think if not pointing out salt would be selfish. It would be just a bad call, or something that you would not want to forget. Anyway, Linky is here with barracks, so he's going to start this raid first. And I don't know if it's a good call by Leo or not. He has decided not to go for military. He has not made. Oh, so he's going for commerce before a military. This could be bad for him, because even Immaculate is a little slow. He has not started. He's not started making his barracks yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a little bit later in the timing there with getting his racks up here, and does leave you a bit vulnerable with those early raids. And a good a good kind of play there by PLA, identifying this and getting the kill.
Yeah, and something to point out here, Sumitra had just lost his diamond merchant, and out of everybody who could lose a diamond merchant, Sumitra was the worst person to lose it because he's so far away. Now he'll have to replace it, and it's just a big pain to do that.
Yeah. Oh, it's very frustrating when you got to walk all that distance just to get your rare resource back. And it looks like the Rax is now in place to kind of protect that. But yeah, look, as you pointed out, it's got to be pretty frustrating for him. I can see that Leonidas has gone for Commerce 2 here. What do you think of that choice of tech?
Just making sure that we are at the same time point. I'm at 9:35 now.
Yep, I'm in sync now as well. Yeah, I was
Okay.
slightly ahead for a moment there.
Okay. Because yeah, Leo did go for Commerce 2, and Linky is Commerce 2 as well. With Mongols, Commerce 2 is a good choice because they already get so much food based on the amount land that they acquire, the territory bonus. So it's a good idea to go that with Mongols, even if you don't have any silk. And Japanese would be the third nation that I really prefer to go Commerce to, just because they can make perfect use of that Commerce 2 within 2 cities.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Commerce 2 is such a strong play on maps like this where most nations can't afford to go for it because they just don't have enough food early on. But yeah, if you are, Mongols, Japs, or a nation like that, or Nubians, for example, in this case, it's a good play, and it sets them up really, really well for the long term.
Oh yeah, it does. And here, well, Leo is up to the classical age to first for anybody in TGZ's team. And well, Linky is Linky. I hope he does not mess up here. If you see what he's doing, he is getting a third city. Are you watching this? He's just got second commerce. I don't know why he deleted that woodcutter camp. It was just fine there. Oh my god, he deleted the woodcutter camp by mistake. He's making the woodcutter camp again.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be frustrating.
That sucks, especially because he's already far behind everybody in terms of aging. Oh man, and his city placement is good. He's placing his city right before a river, so that makes it very easy to defend.
Yeah, that's a really, really good spot there. I mean, it's protected by that river in a perfect fashion, and it does kind of encroach on Red's mountain there. So it'll probably result in him losing some of those mining spaces, depending on how much border push he can get.
Oh my god, just look at Immaculate's wealth income. Look at that.
Wow. That is extremely rare.
That is extremely rare. You never see 107 wealth income on a land map.
Oh, I mean, like, he's literally maxed out to 110. Normally you don't get 110 wealth income until, well and truly into the later ages, such as age 3 and age 4. So, yeah, that's pretty insane. I mean, these guys are set up really well. Obviously, some nice wealth rares combined with being Romans there are really helping give him some serious wealth income. And, what do you do with that wealth income? I think I saw him earlier. He actually sent about 300 to 400 wealth to Nubians. And then Nubians have used that to obviously trade and buy whatever they need to buy. So some really good teamwork here and good synergy between Romans and Nubians.
Oh yeah, and Leo is getting that Colossus. That's great, especially because he's not getting attacked anytime, and these guys are also protected by these rivers. So this game being an offensive, being a booming game, it's quite predictable, and it's the better choice to go with. Everybody on this side, blue, green, purple, and red, everybody has got Civic 3. They've all got third city. So it's all good, all balanced. Meanwhile, on the other side, Mouse and Sumitraya both are with 2 cities. Now, British versus Aztec, that's a very debatable combo. What do you think about this? Because Aztecs are known for good plunder bonus every time they get. So they win a fight, they get a lot out of it. On the other side, Mouse, the British are known for extra eco. So they're going to have a better eco than their opponents for the same researches of commerce.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like if you look at British as a nation, they're kind of like the the Swiss Army knife of nations because they can be both offensive, defensive, and economic with their commerce cap here. And when I say defensive, I more mean that their longbowmen are so good. If you park them behind your city, it can be really difficult to kind of take them on. So, I mean, for Aztecs here, what do you think Aztecs should be doing to try and pressure Mouse when you're up against a British opponent like this?
Well, if I am the Aztec player, I would be spamming my light infantry, the Aztec special infantry, because that's the only thing that counters these guys other than horses. And it's much better to have these light infantry because they've got a nice pierce armor, so they can resist, or they can resist some of these arrow shots by the British. I don't think this is an unfair combo. This is perfectly fine. British versus Aztecs, great. But looks like Sumitra just lost this woodcutter camp, so he'll have to find somewhere else. Now that does suck.
Oh, absolutely, it does. And I mean, it does look like TGZ are booming really well here, though. I mean, Sumatra's got a great economy. It looks like Red has captured that city at the top here.
Oh yeah, all right. Yeah, they already captured the city. That looks so good. Everybody here, everybody has got a nice knowledge income going. You look at TNO. TNO has got 100 knowledge. Leo is not doing that good, but even Immaculate, I can't believe Immaculate doesn't have 3 libraries yet. But anyway, he's doing really good on this side too, because 90 knowledge, that's not bad. I think TNO just burst out, used all of his knowledge wealth for making scholars, and now I don't know if he's regretting or not, but because Linky just lost his city and these guys are already at a back foot here, so it will depend a lot on Mouse on this side. Mouse needs to kill before it gets too late for the other side. And if you look at Sumitra and Mouse's ecos, Mouse clearly has a better one.
Yeah, I mean, Mouse has got a great economy going. And, you'd think that it's quite an interesting position because Mouse almost needs to kill, which is the opposite of what British would normally do against Aztecs here. Aztecs are probably going to be the ones kind of defending, because if Sumitra can hold off Mouse, he's really just buying time to let the other guys, what appears to be, they're getting some good momentum on the other side of the map here.
Yeah, and I don't know why they are not using Salt yet. Did you see it getting raided?
I believe it must have been raided at some point, because I saw there was a heavy infantry for still raiding in the back here by TNO, taking out quite a lot of rares, taking out that Spice at the back as well. So yeah, some good raiding here going on in the background.
Alright, yeah, and looks like Immaculate has decided to go for TNO city instead of helping out. This could be really good or really bad. If these guys double red right at this time, this could be good for PLA, because Leonidas has got Despot, and with that Commerce too, it's the perfect combo for him.
Yeah, that's something that I didn't quite notice, that he has gone for Despot Com too. But yeah, like a really, really bold move. And with Colossus, it's only going to get stronger as the game goes on here, despite the fact that he is Despot and has a slightly lower commerce cap than he otherwise would have.
Oh,
so yeah, you can see that.
And just pointing out, Mouse is going to medieval age, and this could be a very heated battle right here between Mouse and Sumitra.
Yeah, I mean, those instant upgrades to those archers are really going to kick in here, and give him a window of opportunity that he can kind of jump in there, not have to wait for the upgrade, and potentially catch Sumitra off guard.
Yeah, and it did not work out so well for the TGZ team. I don't know what Immaculate is doing there, because he doesn't have a big army. He's just started to take out TNO city, and Linky is back on his feet as well. So yeah, I'm not sure what's happening here. Leonidas has lost a lot of army. His eco is not as good. He's not even 100 on food and wood. This has suddenly taken a reverse gear for these guys.
Yeah, that was actually quite a dramatic turnaround. But I mean, it looks like Mouse, has taken that city at the bottom of the map here as well. And suddenly Aztecs are on the back foot, and Mouse is going from strength to strength. He's pretty much maxed out, or close to maxing out on the British economy here, as far as food and wood goes. And that's going to be tough for Aztecs to kind of come back, because losing that city, losing that farm, the wood and the food income is really not a good spot to be in.
Yes, definitely. Linky has suffered a little bit, but not that much. He is almost. Linky has got a way better eco than Leo. I do not know if we missed any important raids or not, because Leo just doesn't have, like, I don't know where he lost his eco. What just happened here?
It looks like there's several farms which aren't being used right now. I think he's moving the citizens up towards the top left of his base, but yeah, not entirely sure. I think it might be some great raiding here by Linky with those horse archers.
Oh yeah, it has to be that.
Yeah.
So Linky is doing really good on this side, and well, they have lost the edge that they had initially. I mean, it sucks, but well, that's how it is.
Yeah, it does look like that. I mean, PLA is just
Leo may be sending these catapults to a suicide mission because his army is not there, and these catapults are there all by himself.
Yeah, correct. That's very, very dangerous. I mean, he does want to snipe that tower and then probably run away here. And I guess it's almost a game of chicken here as to whether Linky suspects that he has his entire army backing those catapults up or not.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mouse is overpowering. Look at that army. That's huge.
Yeah, it looks like Mouse is playing a game of cat and mouse here as far as going after Sumitraya. Sumitraya is trying to kind of hide and run away, and Mouse is coming straight after him. This is really looking like a dominating game once again by Mouse, and playing as British, he's really playing this to perfection. And interestingly, went for the senator rather than the despot as British, which is a somewhat not as common choice, but he's doing it well.
Oh yeah, he is, and probably because of the distance, the huge distance between both the players helped him do that. Anyway, Linky doesn't have as much army to fight Leo here. I think if I was Immaculate, I would be going right now to save Mouse.
Yeah, I think Immaculate's got a great kind of setup in the sense that he's got that castle behind his city. He can kind of just let TNO do what he wants to do for a while.
Yeah, right. You're right with that.
Yeah, and swing down and try and get a nice double off on Mouse and try and inflict a bit of a killer punch there to bring this game back to a balancing point.
Yeah,
but yeah, Aztecs, at the moment,
I mean, Aztecs, if helped right now, Aztecs can be really good because Sumitra is not dead. He still has a nice eco going, and all he needs, being the Aztec player, all he needs is a little push, and he will be back on track.
Oh, exactly right. I mean, it just kind of reminds me of, I believe it was a game earlier in the tournament, Full Valley versus PLA, and I think it was the semi-finals. And in that first match, we had Timeless, who was the Aztec player, just constantly on the back foot, but then came back and was able to dominate in the gunpowder age. So if there's a way that TGZ can kind of, bring back that balance down the bottom here and kind of hurt Mouse, that absolutely it's worthwhile doing when you've got Aztecs as your ally.
Oh yeah, that is. And I mean, looking at the army of Mouse's army, I wonder even if Immaculate and Sumitra together can take down this army. That's a lot to take out.
Yeah, I'm trying to count how many longbowmen here. I believe it's 4, 8, 12, 16. I think it's 18 longbowmen when you try and highlight them all. And there's no, what's the word for it? I was going to say hallucinations, but...
There's no decoys here.
No decoys, exactly. They're all actual real units. And so, I mean, you need a big army, and you probably need to get a double to even try and get a dent in that. Because if your army goes in, there's just going to be arrows flying at you from a great distance, and you're not even going to get close.
Oh yeah, and look at that. TNO here is going for Immaculate City. He is trying to raid, but then that castle is set up right there to help, and Immaculate is coming here to help. Well, that's a good choice. That's a really good choice by Immaculate.
Yeah, great play here. This is exactly like we were talking about. Coming down, using that castle to kind of defend, and then double on this British army. That's really the only way to try and get a dent in it.
Oh shit! He used ambush, and his units are not attacking at the right point. Damn it!
Oh no, that can be a side effect of using ambush. Sometimes you need to make sure your troops are attacking once they get close. And wow, Mouse's army, like we talked about, that was
Yeah,
those 18 longbowmen.
it's so huge. There's still so many longbowmen. And ambush, I mean, that ambush actually worked against Immaculate because his army did not start attacking at the same time. So they came one by one, like it like how they do in a Batman movie.
Yeah, exactly. Just lining up and getting their heads cut off one at a time, essentially. So, I mean, it looks like they have finally pushed back with, Mouse's army did quite well there, given it was 2v1. But, TGZ have got the effect they wanted. They've pushed him back. Wow, Mouse, though, with great foresight, building a castle behind that Ford City that he just took over.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. And oh my god, Link, I don't know how, but Leo just lost his edge, and it was very important for Leo to help stay there. Oh man, this does not look good for these guys, because I was expecting Leo to either kill Linky or at least hold, but at his condition right now, he may not be able to.
I mean,
he does have the tactics upgrade, and Linky does not.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to play a part here. I mean, you can see that Leo's coming down to help try and get a double off. It looks like Immaculate's in a bit of trouble because his army's a bit out of position against these elephants, and lost his senator by the looks of it. So, yeah, there's a bit of a battle here between Immaculate and TNO.
Yeah, and Mouse is still strong here. He's got an amazing economy. Like that's probably one of the best ecos in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's an eco I'd expect to see at maybe the 35-minute mark, and we're only at 24 minutes here. That's a really, really good economy. And, that Forbidden City that is built, is there any other wonders that we haven't picked up on here? Because that's a really good economy given where we're at.
Oh, and everybody's got a wonder except except Linky and Sumitra. Everybody's got a wonder now.
Wow, that's going to make for an epic rest of this game, though. I mean, I love seeing the power of wonders come into play, and I haven't seen too many Colossuses going despot like Leo has here.
Yeah, that was a very different move, I would say. Because Linky here, look at that, he's enjoying his 200 eco really well. He's got a big army thanks to that eco, but and Leo, also another problem is that Leo got doubled initially, so he lost all that edge that he was having initially with his despot. And it's strange now here. Sumitra, even with his militia, I don't know if he'll be able to take down Mouse's army.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the economy of Mouse here, and then you compare it with the economy of Sumitra's economy is not too bad, but obviously if he loses that cap, then yeah, his economy is going to go straight down the gurgler. And yeah, look, as Aztecs, they're just defending is never the spot you really want to be in, and yeah, he's going to need help from Immaculate to stay alive.
Yeah, Immaculate is coming here, and look at that, TNO may finally...
Yeah.
And TNO just said 92 is moving right there. Oh man, Sumitra just lost his capital. With Mouse's eco and that 500 plunder, well, that's not good. And even here, Leo is dying. I don't know when did this happen. I mean, how did Leo lose all these battles? He had a very messed up eco, and I would have to give Linky the credit. Look at that, Linky's constantly raiding him.
Yeah, I mean, look at that sneaky horse archer, the steppe nomad in the background, and that's the thing is there's so much action going on in this game. We obviously can't keep track of every single raid, but I know that Linky is an exceptional raider, and I think that might be, we're looking a bit puzzled here thinking, how did TGZ kind of, it looked like they were in a really strong position to take this match. And then suddenly, through the power of raiding, resilience, and some good teamwork, PLA are well and truly back in the box seat here to take this third match.
Oh yeah, they are, and Mouse will be in Gunpowder Rage very soon. And the thing is, Linky is not just raiding his guy, he's raiding everybody. Look at that. He is getting Immaculate's villagers. He's picking up caravans. So yeah, he's doing a great job for the team on this side.
Yeah, that's really good rating. And I just wonder, it'd be great to see Linky play from the first person view one day, because I just wonder if Linky's one of those crazy players that has an extremely high, APM, actions per minute. I might even check the stats on that just to check out of interest.
Oh, is there an option to see that?
Yeah, so under the statistics, you can see under the speed, it's not quite the same as in other games, but it gives you an idea of who's using the clicks the most under the last tab there under speed. Looks like TGZ guys are calling GG here. That was kind of quite a poignant kind of turnaround there by PLA, but well played by them.
Yeah, that was, and I think yes, Sumitra and Leo, both of them lost their sides, so there was nothing left to play here. It was an obvious win. Actually, everybody lost. Everybody lost. It wasn't like one side was killing and the other side was losing. Um, I think the biggest turning point in this game was when Immaculate decided to go to the other side to TNO instead of pressurizing the same city from Linky. That's where it all turned around.
Yeah, no, I agree. That did kind of seem like it let PLA kind of recover a bit, consolidate, and retake that city for Mongols. And with that river, it's really hard to attack that from front on, because it's literally like a moat in the front of the city, which is so slow to walk through when you're trying to take it. So, well played by Linky. Good city placement, and obviously recovering and building up that defense to basically hold against that Colossus player with the Despot, and then ultimately retake it and eventually take out Leo.
Yeah, and I would say TGZ did have better rares for aggression, but well, some minor mistakes, and here we are. Anyway, let's dive right into the fourth game.
Absolutely. And who do you think was the MVP there for PLA as far as that match went?
It's very difficult to decide. I know. I would say it probably was Mouse, because if Mouse wasn't there, then Immaculate. I think Immaculate did have a bigger army than TNO, and Immaculate would be able to help Leo as well. But because of Mouse, Mouse took on two, Immaculate and Sumitra for a while, and he let his teammates get the edge.
Yeah.
But everybody played really good. I'm. It's really very difficult. Maybe Mouse a little better than in the PLA team.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because at the very end, Mouse actually had the lowest score on the PLA team, which was surprising given how dominant he was. Because I feel like obviously score doesn't necessarily tell the full story, and it's just statistics. But yeah, Mouse for me, I 100% agree. I think Mouse just takes the edge as MVP for that game.
Oh yeah. So here we are again with the PLA versus TGZ game. For the game, I'm at the 0-second prime point. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready to go. So just count me down.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The rosters have changed. TNO has been replaced by TNT, and Leo has been replaced by Flames. And I have played a few games with Flames. Flames is really good as well. He may not be in the same level as Immaculate and Sumitra, but he shows great promise, and I don't think that TGC roster is going to be affected much by this replacement. On the other side, TNO has been replaced by TNT, and I think it's the same. The team has been affected by the same level. We have seen TNT play against Forwali. He is just not exactly at the same level as the others, Mouse and TNO, but he's still a great player, and he did help his team a lot that time. So I guess the teams are still just as balanced as they were before. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm just not sure if maybe if TNO was typing out his name incorrectly and he accidentally put a T instead of an O at the end of his name there, because there's literally one letter difference between the two players. But yeah, I do agree that TNO is definitely on another level when it comes to his level of skill, just his sheer ability to turn games. But at the same time, TNT, unless I'm mistaken, I believe he was part of that famous roster that PLA put out in that 4v4 versus Forvali in that really epic first match. And he held his own. He well and truly held his own against really high caliber opponents. So I think TNT is, maybe not quite as good as TNO, but still a really solid kind of player to have on the roster.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I feel it's not going to affect the roster that much. And as Dave pointed out in the chat, um, Turks and British, they're a great combo because Turks can start spamming siege units as soon as they age and with the second military, and British here can make archers, which are the best archers in this game in classical age. So there's no beating this combo if they can do it just fast enough.
Oh, exactly right. And I mean, if I just look at these nations purely just from how they kind of randomly got allocated, I've got to give the edge to it probably to PLA here. I think Americans, British, Turks. You've got to be really, really happy with that trio of nations here.
Yeah, they have got the better part of the deal this time.
Yeah, they definitely do. And if I was on the TGZ team right now and I knew what nations you had versus up against Turks, British, Americans, if I was given Egyptians, Russians, and French, French are a pretty good nation, but Egyptians on certain maps like lakes, I'd love to have Egyptians, but on this particular map, I'd say it's kind of middle of the range. And then Russians, obviously, Russians aren't a bad nation in themselves. It's just that in a match like this where you're up against really good nations like Turks and Brits, with Americans in the background, Russians aren't the one that I would be hoping for.
Yeah, and well, the best scenario is for the Egyptian player to be in the center, and well, they've got that. So at least the Egyptian player is not going to be doubled initially. Immaculate is here with French. He did really good with French last time, and I would just hope that Sumitra doesn't go for a wonder, because if they go for a wonder, this is GG right now. That's just calling, like asking to be killed in front of Turks.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough one, but you do need to make that logical decision once they do scout the opponent nations here, that you really have to adapt and think, okay, well, I'm up against Turks and Brits with Americans as well on the other side. Going for an early Colossus or an early Pyramids or early Hanging Gardens is basically going to put a massive red target on Paris here, and Paris may well burn if Egypt does go for the wonder. So it's quite tricky, because as Egypt, you do want to naturally get that nice early wonder and try and get a nice boom going. But yeah, I think given how close the Turk kind of capital is, let's see if he has the willpower to kind of hold back and back up his ally and get through that mid game before this game finishes, before it starts.
Yes, that's right. Here, Russians versus Americans is completely lopsided. I do not think in any scenario Russians can beat Americans, and this goes well, it goes for both in-game and real life. But here we are.
I mean,
looking.
Yeah, I mean, if you had let's say Grax was playing as Americans, and sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said till just then. In real life, yes, Russians, Putin versus Trump. We all know that obviously that's one-sided. I mean, make America great again.
Yeah, so. Americans with Trump, they might lose against Russia, but anyway, and we just realized that, I mean, if you're keeping up with the American news, there was just came a news that said that Trump is not a Russian spy. So that's that's good to know, right? That your president is not a Russian spy.
That's true, and I also read an article, the website called The Onion, which said that it had a puzzled look on Putin's face, and he was like, "So who was I collaborating with then?"
Oh yeah, that's right. Like, why is Trump doing what he is? But anyway, before we get taken down for political abuse or something, I don't know if Twitch does that, but let's get back in the game. Here, Flames has done a great job here. Look at that. He just secured Salt for his team by going Civic first. I really like that move.
Yeah, that's a great play. I mean, making that sacrifice early on, I think that's something really important in that early game, is that, once you get your city down, it's there for pretty much, hopefully the rest of the match. And if you can secure Salt, or if you can secure a really strategic kind of patch of land, I think absolutely every day you should either skip commerce and get that civ up faster, or at the very least go commerce, but don't build any extra villages. Keep your wood at 60 or 70 wood, and then get your city up, because it really comes in handy later on.
Oh yeah, and look at that. Flames is doing really good against Mouse. He has got a better eco. He is almost close to getting the 100 food with Russians, and he's also getting military. So I think it's a really good start by Flames. I want to go and check if he got more ruins or not. But yeah, he did get more ruins. So than Mouse. So that's probably why he's so far ahead. But that's great for the TGZ team. And I just read that Flames said he's going to take the double if he is doubled. But meanwhile, they want Immaculate and Sumitra to take out Linky. So let's see how that works out.
And what do you think? You can see that Mouse is putting down his second city. What do you think of Mouse's city placement for his second, which is just to the top left of his capital?
Yeah, so New York right now it's giving a lot of free ground for raiding. If Flames is serious, I know Flames just said that he's going to defend, but he should be ready for aggression as well. And if he's going to go for aggression, this is going to be a great place for raiding. This caravan is right here waiting to be killed. Even though that river is not so useful, but for attacks, but once he crosses that river, it's going to be very easy.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like in the chat I can see that Linky actually just said blue fast they double here. So looks like Linky. I'm just trying to figure out if Linky is going to go for the classic Turkish, rush here and trying to get TNT to come up and help out with a nice quick attack on the TGZ guys, or whether they're worried that they might get doubled themselves.
Yeah, well, it's a tough call, and TNT is getting his barracks here, so it shouldn't be a problem. Now, if I was a TGZ player, I would skip science. I would just try to get like maybe one of the TGZ guys, Sumitra or Immaculate, should get siege and all the villagers and militia and just get that city. They cannot wait. They absolutely cannot wait. In the long run, there's no way Russia is going to win against America on the other side, unless of course Mouse makes a lot of mistakes. But even then, it's going to be a very tough battle on the other side. These guys, Sumitra and Immaculate, have to kill if they need to win this.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but some really nice raiding here by Flames. Making use of that salt and then basically delivering like a blow on the economy here of Mouse, which Mouse is such a great player. It's not always easy to do that. Mouse actually turned around and just said, okay, well, screw this. I'm not going to worry about this woodcutter. And he deleted his woodcutter camp and has relocated it behind. But that's going to set Mouse back a fair bit. That wood income was not coming in for a fair while there.
Oh yeah, and well, this could be disconcerting, for Flames has just decided to go for a second city. So now actually he's the one who's far behind. He no longer has that edge over Mouse, where he could have killed early. Now what he is doing is he may be able to do some damage with that city, but that's not a lot. I would rather that he built a city far ahead towards the other side of the river, so he could get more land.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that probably was, it's not a huge blunder by any means, but it's not making the most of what he could have done. I mean, the best thing about when you play as Russia is you want to basically expand across the entire map and make everyone bleed whenever they walk into your land.
Oh yes, that's right. And I mean, he had a river here, so it would have been difficult to attack that city anyway.
Oh yeah, exactly right. So I mean, I would have liked to see, if you're going to go for Civic 2, which I feel like is a little bit risky. I know it's tempting, but it's definitely risky because it does set you behind despite your nation, and especially as Russians are already quite slow. Bit of a risk here, but I mean, obviously you get a bit of extra wealth income. But yeah, if you had made the most of that border push, I would have supported it more.
Yeah, sure. he did have die here, so it makes sense. But look at that, TNT is doing. I mean, TNT and Linky, they're doing a great job with the raid. Actually, they're the ones who have been raiding all this time, and Sumitra and Immaculate are just defending. I have not seen the TGZ guys raid here. Could I have missed it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if you look from TGZ's view, it's the fog of war is still there for most of the PLA kind of territory. So they haven't gone past really outside of their own territory here. And perhaps it's always an advantage to be the team that's attacking, not the one defending. And so PLA doing a great job in this top half.
All right, and look at that. Look at Linky's build. He is ready for an attack. That's it. We are seeing it come right now.
Oh, here we go. It is about to go down. We're going to be yelling timber because these siege are about to pop, and there are a lot of troops in that barracks for.
Look at that. Just look at that. I mean, Immaculate is going for a Senate, but he doesn't realize that there is no time for that. These guys are not going to wait for their government. They're just starting already. Oh man, it does not look good. It does not look good at all. There's the siege.
Oh, and look, militia. It looks like militia are coming.
Militia are coming, and I know. Immaculate is going to get his attrition done, but even with that attrition, that's not going to make a lot of difference.
Yeah, that attrition. I mean, there's really the only way to defend against a militia all-in push here against that city is to somehow get attrition really quick. And he is building. Immaculate is getting attrition here, so.
And it's not going to stop anything because even with attrition, militia don't instantly die. They still need at least 5 or 10 seconds to die, right?
Yeah, correct. So it's still he's gonna need to try and buy enough time here to avoid the cap sack. But oh wow, there's just way too many militia, and oh my god, this is not good.
This is not good, yeah. And once the city is taken, the attrition doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, I mean, once you get the cap sack, the territory becomes neutral and they don't burn anymore. So while I really like the fact that Immaculate was able to get that attrition researched, that's pretty much all you can do there. That was just simply a case of coming up against Turks and a really well executed kind of double with all in militia from Linky, getting the cap sack and basically knowing that, they've pretty much got one hand on the trophy right now if they can somehow hold this.
Oh yeah, here. Flames is ready with his army. He did have army, he just lost a lot of it, but well, I guess that could be it. And now it's all dependent on Flames here. If Flames can do something, he can take it, else GG.
Yeah,
Flames just said I'll kill White. He said he can win here. Let's see if that is going to happen. And that tower is going to be taken. Is it going to be taken by Mouse? Oh no, Mouse just lost his senator.
Ooh, close one. Yeah, I mean, that would have been good if he'd lost that tower. It's in a really nice location for both players here.
Yeah.
As far as, zoning out the opponent's army.
Yeah, there is no way that Immaculate is getting his capital back. Yeah, unless he uses cheat codes, which I don't think we have allowed in the tournament. Have we?
I don't know if we've allowed, Big Daddy or I'm not sure what.
Or cheat safe, which spawns machine guns in your city.
I mean, and look at that! Look how quickly. Obviously, Turks being Turks, they take cities so quickly. As far as it's already getting the city repaired. He's already got a castle up. And it looks like they're just throwing down barracks and towers and temples. PLA know that if they take this match, they've pretty much got that third place sewn up. If they can take this city and hold it. So, obviously Linky getting excited here, but also making sure that he's not leaving anything to chance. I mean, that is like Fort Knox right now if they were to try and take it back Paris. I've never seen Paris so fortified, such as this one here.
Oh, yeah. No, it's really bad for TGZ.
Man, I think
they were unlucky with the nations, as we pointed out. Yeah, the nations were not the best nations for to be against Turks and British, but still, I think there was a lot that could have been done better.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, if maybe he could have built backwards there with his second city, knowing he's up against Turks. Yeah. But I mean, that's not necessarily the answer to everything. I mean, it means that you're much better to defend, but at the same time, you are giving up territory, which has other implications later on in the match. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's a tough spot.
that's right, that's right. And a very important thing here was that they got raided by TNT and Linky all the time. So if the raid was the other side, if TGZ guys would have raided, then PLA would be on the back foot. They wouldn't have any leverage, and I think they would be on a defensive position. But TGZ were a little late for the raids, and this is where we are.
Yeah, correct. I mean, yeah, that's just a classic case of in any RTS game, and in particular in Rise of Nations. Yeah, if you're the one that's attacking, you're always hurting your opponent's economy, and while they defend, they're not obviously hurting you. So sometimes it's just better to be the one that's on the front foot and constantly pressuring your opponent while you're building up your economy in the background. And yeah, this has really paid off for PLA here.
That is, and look at that. Flames is aging. Actually, I feel Flames can take this for the team. If this game, if Flames, yeah, look at Flames. He's aging. He's giving Mouse a really tough competition on this side.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy given that Flames. This is the first match he's played in the tournament. His team's basically on the edge here, and he's playing his heart out as Russians. And I would like to point out, it does look like we did just see Immaculate has been eliminated from the match. He lost his second city there. Yeah, not looking good for the TGC guys. But Flames did say in the chat, he just said try. And, if I was Flames too, and this is the first match and possibly the last match he's going to play in this entire tournament, you might as well try and take out a nice scalp like Mouse at the same time, because he is playing really well.
Oh yeah, he is. And Mouse is on his way to next age as well. He's got a bigger army than Flames, so I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. But we don't know in the late game. I mean, because the most advantage that Americans get, of course, they also get advantage from each infantry that survives. But their other advantage they get is through the Wonder. So Flames has not allowed Mouse to take on any Wonder yet. So that's really good.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And that's some really good play. And Mouse, it looks like Mouse has got the medieval age up now as well, so he's going to be in a better position to hold this against Flames. Flames did get the earlier age. And I would like to point out that Flames is actually one of the few Australian players there are, so he's doing Australia proud right now. Maybe that's a bit of Australian bias coming through. But yeah, I'm really glad to see him get on this TGZ roster and show what he can do.
Oh yeah, he is doing a great job here. And look at that, he's getting all his militia, man. That is like a little desperate because... Okay, somebody resigned again. What happened here? Who dropped?
It looks like...
Oh, it says Sumitra dropped.
Oh yeah, Sumitra dropped and defeated, and then Flames was defeated too. So I'm not sure if maybe that was the game kind of crashing, but at least we can say, there's some times where it's controversial when it drops. What do you think, Jatin? Who was going to win this match?
I don't think this was a controversial game. Yeah, there was hardly any. I mean, 10% chance maybe Flames could have killed Mouse in an instant, but that was very unlikely. Yeah, if this was a review, I would favor towards PLA winning this game.
Oh, absolutely. I think you'd have to say as high as 99.9%. Given, yeah, I mean, Sumitra, yeah, he had philosophy. He didn't have much of an economy left, and yeah, the PLA guys just too good. With,
yeah, I didn't realize, when did Sumitra get Colossus?
Yeah,
was it after Immaculate died or before he died? I don't remember, because if Sumitra got Colossus while Immaculate, like before Immaculate was attacked, then that was a very bad call. I don't know how I missed that, because it was pretty obvious. British and turrets, of course, they're going for an instant rush as fast as they can.
Yeah, I mean that's naturally what you always expect when you see two nations like that paired up on the same side of the map. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I suspect it might have been towards the middle or towards the later end. But I mean, if I just saw in the comments that Blasteg just said, so for PLA, what's the best way that? Oh, hang on a sec. The best way to defend Mouse there is to eliminate Orange.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So Yeah, he's saying if Mouse if Sumitra was not there, even if Mouse died, it wouldn't make a difference. And yeah, these guys would have killed Sumitra there. Look at those armies. I think a single army could even give Sumitra's army a challenge.
Yeah, no, there's absolutely no way. That's well and truly over. And you look at the scores too, 2.6 thousand to 1.6. So yeah, PLA definitely deservedly taking this down. Obviously a 3v2 as well. It's always going to be in their favor. Um, yeah, well, overall, Linky, it's kind of expected, but it's not expected, I guess, what he did as far as going for that militia all in. I mean, I'm sure the TGZ guys, probably Immaculate, had a sneaking suspicion something like that might be coming, but it's still really tough to stop, even though you think it might be on the way.
Oh yes, you're right. Well, that's it. So it just means that PLA has taken home the third prize. And
Yeah,
the PLA captain needs to contact me so I can disperse the amount to him, or maybe you can disperse all of that at the end of the tournament. What do you think?
yeah. I think we'll wait until maybe we'll wait until the grand finals are finished, and then we'll make sure to get the prize money out to the winning teams. But huge congratulations to PLA. Well played to them to obviously end up in the final third place in the entire tournament. They've put in a really, really strong showing, and it's been a pleasure kind of watching them play. I think so far in this tournament, my favorite series was definitely that Forvali versus PLA semi-final, that best of five. Some of those games were just amazing, and I'll probably watch them every night for the next few years of my life at least.
Oh yeah, every night. That's and that's not an understatement. Like he's actually gonna watch. I'm gonna watch that too.
Every night and every second morning, I think. So that's how much I enjoyed them. And PLA have shown that I think they have unfinished business. I mean, I think they felt like in that Forvali semi-final, they felt like they had one hand on the that slot into getting into the finals, and then obviously Forvali had other thoughts and came back and managed to get the reverse sweep. But PLA, I think they probably have unfinished business. I think they'll be happy with this third place, obviously getting on the podium and in the inaugural tournament, but and getting a prize pool as well, which is obviously a huge incentive too, and they'll be happy about it. But I mean, I feel like they've got unfinished business, and who knows? Next tournament that happens, I'm sure they'll be back and they'll be gunning for some revenge against Forvali and aiming for that number one spot.
Oh yeah, and PLA. Yeah, if I was PLA, I would definitely have some kind of regret. Like, what if I could have done things differently that I would be in the finals? And PLA, as Dave and Poznik said, DLA definitely deserved to be in the finals, just as much as Forvali and EL. And I'm actually quite excited to see, maybe if possible, later in the game. Let's see what happens with Forvali and EL, but maybe we could get a PLA versus EL game done. That would be really great to watch. What do you think?
Oh, that would be an amazing. I'm not sure how we'd do it, but like some kind of show match maybe at some point. I'm sure the fans would want to see it, because that's just like another clash of styles between the PLA team and EL. Yeah, look, there's so many good combinations, but yeah, I would absolutely love to see that too.
And maybe if we are keeping another tournament, and I wanted to talk to you about it actually. If we are keeping another tournament, maybe starting in May or June, what are your views about that? And first, will you be available for casting? I know that you're soon going to be a father, so it may not be possible. But I don't know how soon is that going to be.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, obviously there'll be probably a lot for myself to learn over the next few months, and yeah, my baby's due to be born next month, so there's not too long. I think it'll be middle of May. So as much as I would love to cast, I feel like I will be able to cast, but it may be not as often as we have done for this tournament, obviously, because I'll have a little bit less free time. But yeah, I'm not going to go away anywhere. I'll definitely be wanting to still get plenty of Rise of Nations action, whether it's playing a few games or casting some matches. So I really want to, continue this momentum. So yeah, absolutely, I'll do everything I can. Obviously, balancing the needs of my wife and baby to keep casting as many games as we can and keeping the tournament going.
All right, and probably next tournament is going to be a standard tournament. We will need a lot of input from our viewers. See what exactly would be the best option. I know there are not a lot of standard players. There's handful I can name, probably 15 at 15 or 20 at max, who are really good. So what kind of tournament we could put? Could we do a 2 versus 2? Could we do a single elimination, or just like a tournament where everybody plays with everybody, gets points, and the ones with the highest points finally battle in the end? So it could be one of those. And of course, to decide all of that, we will need our viewers views, see what they wanted, what they would like to see, and what would be feasible to be done.
Oh, exactly. And I mean, there's definitely, I love, obviously, I'm more of a Nomad player than Standard, but I love watching Standard games too. And Standard does have a completely different style, much more fast paced. And I guess one other advantage of Standard is, it's quicker and the matches normally finish faster as well. So, yeah, it'll be a completely different style. But obviously, we'll be back at some point with Nomad coming in. Who knows what that'll look like? We're still very early days. But yeah, I'm sure Nomadium 2 won't be a pipe dream. It's probably going to come at some point soon. But yeah, I think a standard tournament would be a nice way to kind of bridge the gap once we've celebrated the grand final between Forvali and EL, and see who comes out on top there, and then yeah, we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody who's participated in this tournament so far. Of course, we are not done with the tournament. We still have the grand finale, the most anticipated games, the most exciting thing about this tournament, the best two teams fighting it out. But everybody has been almost punctual wherever possible. Players have taken out time to play, even do 4v4s, even if it was not required. I really appreciate that, and this is what's keeping this community together. We want to play as much as possible, get our streams out to the world so everybody can see what we are doing. And maybe probably even get more games. I was wondering if at the end of the grand finale, maybe we could have some Rise of Nation giveaways, like the Steam copies, so new players can get it and they can get into the game.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, the biggest thing that we can do to try and grow it is that balance between training up noobs and getting them to a level where they can play in these no noob Nomad games, because that's the best way to really get to the level of all the players in this tournament. So maybe if we can all try and take someone under our wing and train up a rookie and just message them on Steam, give them advice, and link them obviously to all of these matches on YouTube. Hopefully that will help kind of bring through the next kind of wave of players into the community.
Yes, it will. And what we lack as a community, though, there's one thing: we lack tutorials. And anybody watching this, guys, if you ever thought of making Rise of Nations tutorials, please do it. This is the best time. There is no other tutorial channel for Rise of Nations, and I mean no other channel. So if you do it, you're going to have a monopoly over it. People are going to watch your channel to learn. I don't get enough time to make tutorials, but I'm sure there is somebody out there who can take out time. So please do
tutorials. Yeah, excellent way to kind of learn things. And I mean, it's like I know, Jatin, you said you used to play, or you've been involved a little bit in the past in the Age of Empires 2 scene, and the AoE 2 scene. I see it as very similar in some ways to Rise of Nations, but obviously Rise of Nations is a way better game. You don't need to convince me of that. But as far as the popularity of AoE 2, a lot of that stems from the community and from the, probably tutorials and content that people create.
Oh, exactly. Age of Empires has so much content. There's like 10 plus tutorial channels. There are so many casters. They actually have, and they're also linked with the actual producers of the game. So whenever they have a tournament going on, the official Age of Empire page actually promotes that. So maybe we need to get in contact with Skybox, see if they are still interested in making this game better.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that we could definitely look at, because if you can get access to the developers, then that means that we can actually get things potentially fixed. And who knows, maybe drops will be a thing of the past, and we don't have to worry about writing a rule book which says, effectively, it's 7 or 8 paragraphs long as far as what to do when a drop happens, because that's just the situation we kind of had to put in place, given it's so common.
Oh yeah, and Angelo's advice is that we could do a season for Nomad, so that as what I said, maybe people or the teams with the highest scores, they will meet up at the end. The only problem with that would be it's difficult to organize teams and games, um, even with a single elimination round where we had what 16 matchups. I think total we have 16 matchups for this whole tournament, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it was. Yeah,
and it was difficult to organize because players don't often show up, and the only reason we could get them together is because the tournament was going in a single direction, teams getting eliminated every time they die. But for a season, they would not be eliminated even if they die, and that would mean, let's say if there are 4 teams, that's 4 into 4 or 4 into 3 combinations of the number of games that can be played. That's a lot of combinations, and maybe it'll take too long, but we could try that out. It's not a bad idea. It's just we'll need to have a more streamlined process. We need everybody to be punctual. If there's a game scheduled at 4 p.m., they have to be there at 4 p.m. or they forfeit, something like that.
Yeah, I think it could work. I mean, some kind of season long. I'm not sure whether it's a really long group stage where you've got a certain number of players or teams in a group and they all play against each other. Twice, like a home and away type match. But I think, yeah, as kind of pointed out, and this is just brainstorming it right now, is that I think it could work if you had a roster that was quite large and there was plenty of flexibility for players to kind of sub in and sub out, because obviously there'll be plenty of weekends where certain players won't be able to make it, and need to make sure that every team has motivation to show up each week. So yeah, it's definitely it's a good idea. If we can make it work, I think it would be awesome, because people would have more matches to look forward to each week. But you also need to kind of balance that with the feasibility of keeping everyone involved. So
yeah, I mean, if we ever come up with that, we won't call it Nomadium. We'll keep Nomadium as a single elimination tournament only, but we would call it something else. And let's see, maybe later in this year, after we are done planning with the standard game, we can pull something through. And I'm quite excited about this, man. And really, it's been a great journey. We've got a lot of motivation from the viewers. They really appreciate the content, and I really appreciate them watching it and giving us an audience.
Oh, exactly. And yeah, we really appreciate it. Obviously, it's been awesome, the feedback that we've got so far. And, this tournament would be nothing without the players. And more importantly, the people watching each match, especially watching it live, which makes it a lot more exciting to cast when we're doing these kind of broadcasts. So, and yeah, I mean, as people have been saying in the chat, I think, yeah, absolutely. We've kind of set, I feel like, this tournament set a pretty high bar, but people know what to expect now. And, when the next tournament does come around, the teams will be much better prepared, and they'll know, what they need to do to try and get a win, especially if they think they're in a tough match. And so the quality of the games are just going to increase and increase. And, as we tweak the format and we tweak the rules, it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, we have streamlined our rules. I mean, sometimes we had a lot of arguments initially, but then so far we've been going pretty well. Everybody has cooperated. I think these rules are standing really well on their own. And I want to, since everybody's watching, I want to especially mention or give thanks to Kron, because he was the one who came up with the rules. I just looked at it and I said, yeah, they're really good, but I don't think I would have been able to come up with such nice rules that would eliminate all that arguments that we could have had if it weren't for these.
Yeah, it was quite it was kind of fun actually writing the rules, because it was interesting trying to solve like what you do in all these different situations that makes it fair for everyone involved. And I appreciate that. And I'd also like to give thanks to Spyrodon, AS Spyrodon, because early on in the tournament he also messaged me quite a lot, and he came up with a lot of ideas, and he was even brainstorming, hey, what if this scenario comes up, or what if that scenario comes up? And we pretty much covered everything off. And Dave in the chat just mentioned as well, definitely a shout out to Dave as well, because Dave did contribute as well early on. I believe Boo contributed a bit. I think everyone, even Serge, all the players from the community kind of chipped in a bit as far as what they thought was fair and what they thought will make the tournament work well. And so obviously it's played out nicely so far. We didn't have too many drops, thankfully. I mean, yeah, we had a couple, but I mean, thankfully, we've played this tournament in good spirit. I think most times where possible, players have gone for the rematch, unless no one's tried to drop on purpose, which was the biggest thing we were worried about. And yeah, it's all gone to plan.
Oh yeah, and well, right before we end this cast, again, if anybody from PLA or TGZ is there for a post-game interview, please message either me or Kron within the next 5 or 10 minutes while we are here, so we can set it up. And yeah, while you're so we're gonna wait for 5-10 minutes for you if anybody is interested. I also wanted to find out, actually get the opinion of your viewers and your Kron. I was thinking of setting up a um, a crowdfunding source for our next tournament right after or right in before the grand finale. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, it allows us to do some fundraising, I guess, to set us up for another set of tournaments during the time when we're probably going to peak, and interest is going to peak when we see the amazing matches between EL and Fall Valley. So yeah, absolutely, I think that's a great idea. And yeah, it'd be great to hear from anyone else that has some feedback. But that really sets up the future for the tournament scene.
Oh yeah, so we could do it either at the end of the stream or in the middle of some games, so that we can have our GoFundMe page for the next tournament ready. And while the players are excited and everybody's watching, we could have it done. Because I know even a lot of people asked me later on if they could donate for the GoFundMe campaign or for Nomadium, and it was already too late. We had accrued about 600, so I thought that was enough prize pool for a single first tournament. And I did tell them that yeah, maybe you can continue next time, but we have enough for this. So yeah, anybody who was looking forward to donating for the tournament prize pool last time could not, we might be opening it up during the grand finale.
Yeah, absolutely. But obviously, in the meantime, if you do want to donate as well, you can donate directly to I believe it's the link in the comments. Hopefully it's there. Is that on Twitch?
Are you talking about the Nomadium prize pool?
No, for the channel. So to support the hard work that you put into all these
Oh
videos.
yes, for the channel, if you want to donate, the link is in the descriptions. I've also opened up a Patreon page if anybody wants to just donate a consistently small amount every month. That could also be done. I do not have the subscribe button link enabled on Twitch because there is a certain requirements for Twitch that I need to fulfill, and it will take a while. I think in order to get the subscribe button on Twitch, I need to have 50 followers on Twitch, so I'm not there yet. It's gonna take a while for that.
Yeah, I think I don't think it'll take too long, but yeah, Twitch does have certain rules in place as far as hitting a certain benchmark. So yeah, hopefully that won't be too far away. And I'm just thinking whether I just saw that Angelo was in the chat. I know we probably don't have anyone from PLA that played in the matches that's online right now.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think it would be interesting to hear from Angelo if he's willing to jump on the airwaves and give us his thoughts on how he's going to spend the prize money?
Oh yeah, I would love to do that, but again, if Angelo is here, I know Mouse is online, but we had asked Mouse earlier for an interview and he wasn't ready. So if we'll just leave it to them. If they're interested, they're most welcome to come here, and we'll be here for a while.
Yeah, I think I'm just checking my Steam friends list, and I can see that Mouse is online right now. But aside from Mouse, I don't know how good Mouse's English is. I haven't really asked him, but yeah, it's probably going to be tough.
Yeah, Angelo, that's probably what he's doing on Steam.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to interrupt important things sometimes to let the community know how you found the games. So we'll see if we can get Mouse to temporarily pause what he was doing. But no, it sounds like he's doing pretty important things right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, it says that Angelo just said that he might be free, so in 1 minute. 30 seconds? Is that how long it takes for mouse? I'll
Well,
message him on Steam.
yeah, let's see. I just messaged him. I gave him the link to the stream so he can see. 1 minute he'll be free. Alright. Alright. And by the way, guys, I just want to tell you, meanwhile you're watching, I may as well be streaming some Age of Empires in the future. And I am going to be playing, so I have another friend who streams Age of Empires, and he is doing a show match, just like my best of 3 series. He has his own series for Age of Empires. And I have asked them to get me, for a friendly best of 3 game with another Age of Empires players. I probably don't know the player who I'm playing against, but I'll be streaming that on my channel as well. And the games are pretty relatable, so if you can understand Rise of Nations, and I'm sure everybody who's played Rise of Nations must have played Age of Empires at some point in their life. So it'll be exciting. I'm not a great player. I'm somewhat a lower inter in Age of Empires, but if you can come on and cheer me during my match, and just for the Ron community, that'll be great. It could be tomorrow or day after, or even next week. I'll let you all know on my Discord and Facebook page.
Yeah, that sounds good. And what type of match is that, Jitin? Is that
it's like going to be a standard game. It's not. Did you say tournament? No, it's just a regular show match.
Yeah, nice. Well,
so it's going to be a standard game on Arabia. Arabia is the Sahara equivalent of Age of Empires. So a lot of raids, and the same kind of dynamic, except that what I find really difficult in Age of Empires is that while we can see our resource collection rate in Rise of Nations, it's very clear, you know, when you are capping your resource collection rate, when you need to stop. In Age of Empires, it's pretty much no cap at all. You can just keep collecting as much as possible forever. So it's very difficult to keep track of that. And there's no inflation in that game, so you can keep spamming the same unit forever and it'll still cost the same. It's not realistic, but well, that's how it is.
Yeah, wow. Well, I think if I was to give you my secret strategy in Age of this used to work for me back when I was about 10 years old, is that you build lots and lots of monasteries, and then you spam a lot of monks, and you get them to do the whole ayo, whatever. Yes, and you turn the opponent's army into yours, and therefore you win the game. I don't know if that works out in the actual meta game of AoE, but it's worth a try.
Well, yes, I'm definitely going to try that strategy. Thanks, Kron, for the advice. And everybody watching this, thanks for coming here. I don't think we have heard anybody from PLA or TGZ so far, so I guess there won't be any post-match interview for this game. I will still be keeping the stream on for another 5 or 10 minutes. Now the good thing about Twitch is that right after I close the stream, it's available for viewers, and that's not the case with YouTube, as you guys must have noticed. It only shows 2 hours or 2 hours of stream, and then it takes about an hour to process the rest of the stream. So it's very annoying. So that's another reason why I've switched to Twitch for my live streams, because it's just more comfortable and convenient for both me and the viewers.
Yeah, exactly right. And I mean, as long as you're uploading the videos to YouTube, I feel like you've got the perfect mix going, because Twitch is better for live, as you said, but YouTube is better for long-term storage, because unless you're careful on Twitch, or if you pay money for it, your videos will get deleted after, I think, 60 days. So
all right.
Just be aware of that, that's all.
Okay. Yeah, maybe YouTube is really good as a video storage service. And yeah, next time, Kron, you can host or raid my channel, so for the tournament, so that anybody watching your stream could join here, and people could also know about your stream. And yeah, by the way, guys, anybody who is here and has not subscribed or followed Kron on Twitch, please do that. Prolays has just recently started streaming, so please show your support. Follow them on Twitch. It doesn't take anything, just a click. So, and it really gives a lot of support to the streamers, so they can continue doing their work. And yesterday, it was the first time when I was watching another stream besides Kron's, and it feels really good to watch a stream. And I've been mostly streaming, so I don't get that pleasure mostly to watch somebody play. But it's really fun. I see why you guys are here.
Yeah, no, it's good. And I think you brought up a good point. Maybe if we do, when we do broadcast the grand final, perhaps if we can remember to, we might be able to ask anyone who's watching if they can, raid the channel before we start, so that we get a bunch of new people watching, tuning in. And once you start to get momentum on Twitch, I feel like once you've got 50 viewers, it becomes 100, it becomes 200. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? So.
All right, and Angelo just started. When will be the next tournament? Well, we will decide that actually tomorrow, tomorrow or day after, whenever we are casting the game. So anybody who's watching, please stay for the post game of the grand finale, because that's when we will be discussing everything about the next tournament, when, what, how much is the prize pool, everything about it. And as Kron said, if you are on Twitch, please host our channel so that any viewers who are watching you can come here and they can enjoy the game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But so are you hyped up for the grand final tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, depending on when it happens?
I am all ready and excited. I am. I've told everybody that I won't be available in the mornings of Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, no friend. I won't be bothered by any friends or anybody, hopefully.
Okay, so it sounds like you won't be interrupted during the stream, which is good, and everyone will be kept happy at the Jachin household, which is great to hear. So let's hope I can do the same as well. Let's and hopefully I won't. I just hope that we're not casting the middle of an exciting seventh match of the series between Vali versus EL, and then I find out that my wife's going into labor and I need to go to the hospital, because that's a decision I don't want to have to make. As far as
you definitely don't want to make that decision if you want to stay at your home.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think there'll be much life for me otherwise, because my wife would kill me. So, but let's hope that doesn't happen. There's still about a month or so left, and this has worked out really well, and I can't wait to cast the grand finals, because this is really the dream final between the two teams that everyone pegged as the favorites coming into this tournament.
Oh yeah. Yeah, everybody did predict initially that for Vali and El going to be the final, and it is. So let's start that very soon tomorrow. All right, so I'll be waiting 5 more minutes if anybody from PLA wants to join for the post game interview. Else we are done for the day. I'll leave the stream on for just to give an impression that the 5th game actually took place. So there's no spoiler for anybody watching the 4th game.
Yeah, no, that's very considerate to do that, and as someone who hates spoilers, I appreciate it. So it's always good to watch a game and not know who's going to win. It's exciting. So
yeah. All right then, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll be signing off right now. Bye bye.
Thanks, guys, and we'll talk soon. Cheers. Bye.